Focus. There we go. All right. There we go. And there we go. All right. All right. And we're live. I'm not going live on YouTube in a fat minute. Oh. What's up, Vanessa? How's it going? Ugh. How's everyone's day? Show you guys what I picked up from my shop today. How's it going? HR goes vocal. What's up? Went to my comic shop today for the first time in like 2 weeks because I got COVID 2 weeks ago, but now I'm all good. And so I had a fat stack of books to pick up. So I'll just show you guys what I got and then we'll talk about them. Good to see you too. Tell him. Blah, blah, blah. I got Nightwing issue 88. New issue of Thor. New issue of Robin. One of the best series of DC right now. Superman Robin number 1, which was just a one-shot from Tomasi, which was so good. How's it going, Xavier? How's it going? I heard DC is not doing so with their comics. DC has a lot of comics that suck, but they also have good comics as well. It's basically the overarching like big event stuff at DC sucks, but the under stuff is actually good. So that's how it is at DC right now. That's what people mean when like you'll hear people be like, "Oh man, DC's horrible." It's because the overarching stuff, like the big event stuff, sucks. How that COVID make you feel? Felt like having the flu, honestly. Like first 3 days felt like having the flu, and then after that, I was like good for the most part. But basically, if you've had the flu, that's how it felt. But yeah, this book was so good. We got Dark Knights of Steel issue 4, which I also have issue 3 in here. Yeah, issue 3. So issues 3 and 4. We got newest issue Action Comics, which is the best book at DC right now. I love Action Comics. I'm going to be making a video on that. We got Gunslinger Spawn issue 4, which I have never really been a Spawn fan. I watched the HBO series, the animated series, which I liked, but I never really read the comics. But when I saw there was a Western Spawn and Brett Booth was doing the art, I was like, sign me the hell up. I will read that in an instant. So I did, and I'm really enjoying the series. Again, even though I'm not a Spawn fan. Batman issue 119 and 120. The art in these books is so good, and also its writing's good as well. But like, I really like the way what's his name? Is his first name Jorge? Is it Jorge Molina? I think that's his name. I'm sorry. I haven't really like seen him on anything else, but the way he draws Batman is great. I really like his pencils. Deathstroke Incorporated issue number 5. Really enjoying that. Batman the Knight issue 1, this is Chip Zdarsky's series. How's it going, Bon Tyler? Have you read any new Star Wars comics for Superman or Spider-Man? I've read Action Comics, so I've been reading new Superman. I haven't read any like Star Wars in a fat minute. I'm still getting the Darth Vader series, but I haven't really read any of it. I'm a few issues behind, and I've been procrastinating it. I need to read that. I haven't really read any Spider-Man. Imagine not watching the Spawn movie. I heard that movie's horrible. But yeah, this is Chip Zdarsky. Focus camera. Camera focus. There we go. But this was good. Chip Zdarsky series, and then these are the only two issues I haven't read yet. So I picked these up. I guess I pre-ordered Task Force Z. I don't remember doing this, but I read the first issue, didn't like it, didn't order any of the other issues. I guess I ordered issue number 4 because it was in my stack. That or they got it wrong, but whatever. I was like, I'll read it. Haven't read it yet. I picked this up today, and then I picked up the newest issue, Primordial. These are the only 2 issues that we're not going to be talking about today because I haven't read these. But that's all that I picked up. Sorry about that. Do you think Gunslinger Spawn is friendly for new readers? I mean, I would say so. Like, there's definitely stuff that you won't know because there's stuff I don't know, but I'm still enjoying it. But also, my way into comics wasn't the traditional route that a lot of people take. Like, a lot of people, like, look up reading orders and, like, oh, this is the run you need to start with. And I'll start with issue 1 of this, and this is blah, 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 and the new creative team dropped on here. When I started reading, really getting into comics, when I started reading comics, I just read random back issues that my library had. And then when I went to my first comic shop, I would go through the bins, like through the long boxes, and just be like, that cover looks cool, gonna read that. I wasn't like, oh no, this is part 4 of an 8-issue story. Can't read that. I'd be like, cover's cool. I'll find the other issues some other time. And so I'm accustomed to jumping in at the deep end and not knowing what's going on, still being able to enjoy it. I heard that Marvel was going to start another Civil War comic book. Dude, I heard Civil War 2 was horrible. It looked horrible. I never read it though. Yeah, I think you can, if you're interested in Gunslinger, pick it up. You don't really need to know what's going on with Spawn to understand it. Like, there's an overarching story where it's connected to other Spawn stuff that I'm like, cool, haven't read any of that. So let's talk about some of this. Let's talk about Nightwing 88 first. So, Nightwing 88 is an actual really good issue of Nightwing. This book has been very, like, the first 2 issues when Tom Taylor took over were really good, and then after that it just went downhill, and then it was just like up and down, and it was very bumpy. Like, there was some good stuff, there was some not so good stuff. There have been some horrible issues, there have been some great issues. Nightwing 88 is a return to form. This is actually good, and it's focusing on the main story again. Yay! Because Tom Taylor's been getting very confused with his storylines, because he started out with a really good storyline, and that was actually interesting about like some new villain stealing like the hearts of homeless people, and I was like, oh, this dude's cool. And then he's like, now I'm gonna tell a story about Nightwing becoming a billionaire and giving away all his billions to poor people, and now I'm gonna tell a story that connects to the Fear State storyline and is a Batgirl book and has nothing to do with Nightwing. And now I'm going to do a one-shot about blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, what about the original story you set up that was actually interesting? Now he's getting back to that in this issue. There is still a little bit of a problem where Tom Taylor kind of has the Bendis problem where everyone sounds the exact same. There's a little bit of that in this, where, like, everyone's super, like, quippy and lighthearted and, yeah. It's not as bad as Bendis, but it is that problem where everyone sounds the same. And it's like, not everyone needs to be Dick Grayson. Gunslinger Spawn feels better as a supporting character. I feel like he's carrying his own book well. I like it, but maybe it's just because Brett Booth's pencils are so pretty. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like, it's a fun book. But Nightwing 88 was good. There's some cool stuff in here. We get the return of Gunhawk and Bunny, which I believe, were those guys Chuck Dixon creations? I feel like they were. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I know Chuck Dixon used them. I believe he used them in like his Detective Comics, when he wrote Detective Comics, I think. But yeah, Gunhawk and Gun Bunny appear in this. And Titans appear in it. Cyborg is back as a part of the Titans in this, which was cool. That actually made me feel all warm and fuzzy. I was like, yes, he's not part of the Justice League. He's back with his people. He's back with the Titans. Yes, I was happy about that. So that was cool to see Cyborg. Although Cyborg's new design is horrible. There's nothing to break up, like, all the silver. It's, like, all, like, just the same, like, design and silver, like, all the way through. So his design looks bad. But I was happy seeing Cyborg show up with Titans. That was cool. So Nightwing 88 is worth picking up. Batman the Knight, issue 1, which is the first issue of Zdarsky's Batman comic. Is Batman still poor? Poor as in, like, he doesn't operate out of the main Batcave anymore and he has less money. Yeah, but he's not poor. But yeah, he's not, like, super billionaire Batman anymore. But this book was good. It focuses on a younger Bruce at first and some of his relationships, and it's him having a one-on-one therapy session with Hugo Strange. Yes, I do want Cyborg to be with his people, being the Titans and not the Justice League. He does not fit in with the Justice League, and it's really stupid. Him being with the Justice League was one of the dumbest things they did in New 52, and he does not fit in at all. And he was literally there to be like, teleport us, Cyborg! Teleport us here, Cyborg! You can open boom tubes! And it was like, yeah, he doesn't fit. He needs to be with the Titans. He does not fit in with the Justice League. Anyways, this issue was good. What's up, Donovan? I enjoyed Zdarsky's, like, been on fire for, like, the past few years. Everything he does is pretty good for the most part. And I enjoyed this. I'm excited to see where it goes, because this was kind of like a one-and-done story. Like, you get to see, like, you get some background about this Bruce, and I love seeing Alfred, considering he's dead now in, like, the main books. But, yeah, this was good. I don't know where the story's going from here, though, because this was kind of just like a one-and-done thing with him and Hugo Strange, but it was good. It's worth picking up. Deathstroke Inc. issue number 5 was really good. Spoilers for Deathstroke Inc. issue number 5. If you haven't read it, I'm going to be talking about spoilers for it, so I just want to give you a warning. this is one of those things where, like, I really hope the end actually sticks and it isn't just a fake out. So at the end of the book, it's revealed that, like, so there's this organization that Black Canary and Deathstroke have been working for this whole time, that they're both trying to figure out who the organization is, and they're kind of just playing along. And at the end of this, it's revealed to be, like, the secret society. I'll talk about you look like Nate Jacobs from Euphoria. Is that, if that's who I think it is, I've been told I look like this guy. You are like the fourth person to tell me that. Like the fourth person. Legit, I have been told by 3 girls on, like, dating apps that their opening line is, you look like Nate Jacobs, or the actor, what's his name? What is the actor's name? Jacob Elordi. I get that, because I did not know who the hell this guy was until I've had a couple girls tell me I look like him. And then I'm like, I wish I was that jacked. Dude's huge. But, anyways. Deathstroke Inc. issue number 5. Really good. But at the end of it, I wonder if Alpha will return under Williamson. He's going to return eventually. Whether Williamson does it or not, who knows? But Deathstroke Inc. number 5, at the end of it, they they find out that this organization, Knockoff Ninja, you're the only person that's told me that, which I get it, because we're both skinny white guys on the internet. But Deathstroke Inc. At the end of it, they find out that the company who they've been working for is, like, this new secret society, and in the end, Deathstroke ends up shooting 2 of the people on the secret society, and it's badass. He just kills them. He kills Calculator, and he kills the new Libra, and it's sick. He literally just shoots the 2 of them. It was like, they're looking for someone. He's like, they're looking for someone that's their what's it called? He's like, they're looking for a new a leader, like a king of supervillains. If there's gonna be a king of supervillains, it's me. And then he takes his throne, and it was like, that was badass. Really hope they don't undo that, though. I feel like Calculator's actually dead, but Libra might not be, which is dumb. Don't pull what they did with, like, Red Hood, where Red Hood shot Penguin in the face, and then it was like, oh, it was a blank, and all that happened was just some shrapnel from his eyeglass got in his eye, and Penguin's okay. Don't do that. Hope this isn't a fake out. The end of this book is badass. Really enjoyed it. The music is Lakey inspired. But anyways, good, solid issue. Really enjoyed it, and I hope the ending sticks and isn't just a fake out. He's now one of the honorary characters who've died twice and eventually come back twice. That's everyone, dude. Just like they've killed, they've killed Aunt May, like, multiple times as well. Like, there's a lot of characters that have died comics multiple times. Batman issue 119 and 120. These are really good. I'm enjoying it. At the end, we get, like, spoilers for these issues if you haven't read them. At the end, we see that Batman Incorporated is working for Abyss. And so it's like, ooh, why are they working for Abyss? And they're like, Batman, work for us and help us kill Lex Luthor. And it's like, what? Why do they want to kill Lex? And Lex has got his own bat suit. It was kind of cool to see that Abyss went after Batman and beat his ass and almost murdered him in issue 119. I talked about this in my video if you haven't seen it. And the, like, what's going on with Batman video. And then he goes after Lex Luthor, and Lex Luthor holds his own and survives fine. To where Batman's, like, legit, if he didn't have the help of, like, this detective lady, would be dead. So that was cool, seeing that Lex was able to, but Lex has his own bat suit, which is stupid. I don't like Lex trying to become, like, the new, that's dumb. We already had that with, like, with Rebirth Superman, where he, like, tried to become his own Superman. Stop doing that with Lex. Stop having Lex be, like, having his own Superman suit and his own bat suit. Stop it. I don't want to see that. But other than that, I enjoyed it. But yeah, Josh, Deathstroke Inc's really good. Gunslinger Spawn issue 4. It's hard to talk about this because people don't really know much about this guy, but it's good. It's just good action. Brett Booth on anything is fantastic, and McFarlane's writing a fun action book. In this issue, Gunslinger Spawn just gets his ass beat the entire time, and is like, this guy's trying to get him to join him, and Gunslinger Spawn's like, no. But yeah, read it if you want a fun action book. I like it. Action Comics issue 1039. Don't really want to say much about this because I'm working on a video on Action Comics, well, on Superman as a whole post Bendis, and I've actually been writing a script now. So that video, I'm hoping to have that sometime in February, sometime done in February, hopefully within, like, the next 2 weeks. We'll see. But Action Comics is great. Again, don't want to say too much because I'm making a video on it. But read Action Comics if you're looking for a good Superman book. Sorry if I sound stopped up, by the way, because I still am, like, a little stopped up. Who do you prefer, the X-Men or Avengers? Personally, the X-Men are way better, and the Avengers aren't really that cool, but that's just me. I've always said this, that the X-Men and the Teen Titans, or the Titans, are more interesting than the Avengers and Justice League. They just are. They just are. Like, Avengers and Justice League have had good runs, but they're not as interesting of teams to me as the X-Men and the Titans. I think the X-Men and the Titans are way more interesting team books, in my opinion. Now they want to kill all the Justice League. Yeah, they're doing that, which is stupid, but whatever. Yeah, I heard that the Suicide Squad game's getting delayed to 2023. What a surprise. Every game gets delayed. I'm not surprised anymore. When any game gets announced, I'm like, yeah, that's not releasing. I bet Alfred will be back by the end of the year. Very possible. Thoughts on Jeff Loeb Batman? I love Jeff Loeb. I think he did some great stuff with Batman. And I love his run on Superman Batman. Joshua Williamson is doing some good stuff on his solo books, but on his overarching books, like, was it Justice League Incarnate, and, what's the other one? I feel like I have Infinite Frontier. And Infinite Frontier, that stuff's not very good. But his solo stuff, like Batman, Robin, Deathstroke Inc., all that stuff's really good. How many books is he on? Joshua Williamson, he's going to be doing the Kill the Justice League book, right? So there's that. He's on Batman, Robin, Deathstroke Inc., Justice League Incarnate, Infinite Frontier. So he's on 6 books. Or once Kill the Justice League starts, but obviously he's already been writing that. Just isn't out yet. You gonna play Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga? Maybe. It looks interesting. The only game I'm excited for this year is Gotham Knights. I don't really care about Gotham Knights, dude. I hope it's good, but that game does not have me excited. The Wonder Woman game is the game I'm most excited for as far as superhero games go, because it's coming from the guys that did Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor. So I'm super stoked, and it's not another Batman game. I can't wait for the Wonder Woman game. Anyways, let's talk about Dark Knights of Steel. Spoilers for Dark Knights of Steel if you haven't read it. Dark Knights of Steel is actually pretty good. Tom Taylor is one of those guys that's very all over the place, but with Dark Knights of Steel, he's actually writing an interesting story. I do wish there was more Superman, because obviously I'm a Superman fan. We have gotten focused on, like, everyone but Superman. Superman's very much, like, pushed to the side in this book, so that part's kind of disappointing. But it's really cool. Like, I like the universe he's building here with his medieval DC universe. It's really cool. We got the origin for Batman in issue 4, because if you've read the first, like, couple issues, you saw that Batman's more than meets the eye. He's not typical Batman. He's got powers. They explain that in this. What happened? I will say it's very unrealistic, though. And I mean that in issue 4, it's revealed that, so, let's see, what are you guys saying, Chad? Are they going to, like, start over with everyone again, like New 52? I don't know if they're doing another reboot, maybe. But, anyways, in issue 4, it's revealed that, Laura and Jor-El came down to Earth, because that's what's different about this in the main universe. They didn't die. They came to Earth with Cal and with Clark. And they're here. Stuff happens. They end up befriending the Waynes. The Waynes in this time are kings and are king and queen of, like, their realm. So they end up becoming great friends. Well, Jor-El cheats on Laura with Martha Wayne, and obviously Martha cheats on Thomas with Jor-El. They bang. They have a baby. And then everyone's just over it and they're great friends. That does not make any sense. That part, like, I don't mind the whole, like, this is like how they changed Bruce's origin because he's half human, half Kryptonian. But the whole, like, after that they legit just become best friends. Like, Jor-El and Laura are best friends with the Waynes after, like, they know that their partners slept with each other and created a kid. It's like, that was that part's not too, I don't see that happening, but okay. That was the only part of the book where I was like, come on, really? Like, eh. But anyways, then the Waynes are killed when Bruce is young, and so Jor-El and Laura raise him like their own, which he is Jor-El's. And yeah, so that was the big reveal in issue 4, which we already basically knew. Supergirl's on a rampage right now, because if you don't know, Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, who was a king in this book, had like hired, I believe, Green Arrow to kill Jor-El with a kryptonite arrow, and he did. You read any more of Lemire's Moon Knight? No, I haven't, because there's only like one. I looked, and there was like only the one volume that I read on Comixology Unlimited. I need to see if I can get the other volumes physical, because I looked to see if they had more on Comixology Unlimited, but they didn't, sadly. Yes, this is an Elseworld story. The other thing I like is Lex Luthor essentially Green Lantern Joker. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was really stupid. I agree. They make Lex Luthor a combination of Lex and Joker, and it's really dumb. And then he finds a Green Lantern ring, and it's really stupid. Yeah, he's the one who killed Martha and Thomas Wayne. But anyways, it's still a good series. I really like that Supergirl is on a rampage right now because they killed Jor-El. She's just out there killing everyone. She's going nuts. She is like mental. And in this, her and Diana are a couple, which there's actually like a good story reason for it, and it's not just like, hey, look, we made them lesbians. And it's actually interesting to the story because how it works is it makes it to where Diana leaves the Amazons because the Amazonians are against the Kryptonians now. And so it actually like serves a story purpose, and it's interesting, and I'm enjoying this series so far. It'll be interesting to see how it ends though. But I'm dreading that they're going to do something really stupid with Clark. That's what I'm dreading. I feel like they're going to do something really dumb, but so far it's been really good. Superman Robin, the one shot from Tomasi. Please, for the love of God, DC, give Tomasi his own ongoing series. This book was amazing. Man, dude, it felt like an old friend was back with how he wrote John. John's such a likable character in this book, and also the way he writes Damian, how Damian's able to unwind and let down the facade around Jonathan. It's so good. It's so good. There's even a little bit of shade thrown in here, because Damian talks about how John's new suit sucks and his old Superboy suit was so much better, so there's a little bit of shade thrown there. Also, the first part, there's a little bit of shade thrown at Bendis, where like John and Lois are talking about how much it sucks that that John got aged up, and they missed all that time, and so I like that. But the story's good. There's a good story in here. It's a fun adventure with John and Damian. It's nothing less than what you'd expect from Tomasi writing the Super Sons. It's so good. And then we got Victor Bogdanovic doing the pencils. So yeah, it was a good, fun issue. I really liked it, and I miss these two together. But sadly, we have Tom Taylor writing John Kent, and John's 18 now. So yeah, that sucks. Robin issue 10 was really good. I'm really enjoying Robin. We're seeing more about like the Al Ghul family tree. That's why that's literally the cover. And we're learning more about what happened there. But yeah, Robin's still solid. This was a good issue. I'm enjoying it. And yeah, Robin's just good. Not much else to say. Thor sucks right now. I was really hoping they don't do a Superman, Batman, Lois Lane, Love Trial, and Dark Knight of Steel. They might. Who knows? Because Lois is with the Amazons, so can you rank the Robins? Dick Grayson is my favorite. I would go with Dick Grayson. Dick, Tim, Damian, Jason. That's how I'd rank the Robins. I don't really count Stephanie Brown as a Robin. She's like such a short time. And I'm not gonna like include dark like Elseworld stuff. That's how I like rank the main Robins. Anyways, this issue of Thor sucked. Thor. So we had a couple of story arcs at the beginning of Cates' Thor run, and it was really good. Besides the ending to like one of the arcs wasn't that great. And then we had filler because they were building up to the next arc, and the filler issue sucked. And it's like, okay, we're on a new arc. First issue of the new arc was pretty good. And then we got the reveal. Spoilers for Thor if you haven't been reading it. So they building up this whole God of Hammers. So it's like there's this prophecy, the God of Hammers is going to come. And it's like, oh man, who's the God of Hammers? Can't wait to see who the God of Hammers is. Turns out the God of Hammers is just Mjolnir come to life. Mjolnir is this like lightning woman. Mjolnir's been alive this whole time. And dear God, the dialogue for Mjolnir in this book is horrible. It's so bad. Mjolnir's talking to Thor like, I was by your side for so many years, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, God, this is awful. Why? Why didn't we just have a cool God of Hammers character? Why? But, yeah. So this whole issue is just Mjolnir kicking the crap out of Thor, and then we get a reveal about like an old Thor character coming back at the end, which this is my first Thor run, so that meant nothing to me. But this arc has been bad so far, which is disappointing. The God of Hammers has been a letdown. But overall, I enjoyed like all the comics I read today other than the new issue of Thor. You have the Tusk comic? I don't know what that is, so I don't think so. Yeah, God of Hammers. Which is just Mjolnir come to life. I was really hoping they don't do it. I read that. Well, what comics are you guys reading right now? What are you guys enjoying? No, Jojo, I am not. I'm fake. Like, where's my water? Bung, bung. Thoughts of the new Batman trailer and clip? I don't know which trailer you're talking about because there's been a million like different TV spots feels. But the clip, I like the clip. The one thing I don't like is I hate, if you guys haven't seen it, it's the funeral clip when the guy like drives in. But the thing that I didn't like about it is how much of a recluse Bruce is, because that's like one of my favorite parts about Bale's Batman is how good Bale was at Bruce Wayne. And I wanted to see him do that switch on off. I know it's early on, but still, that guy be like, hey, Bruce Wayne. Bruce just staring at him like a social reject. Just like, it's like, Bruce, what? Come on, dude. Are you trying to even hide that you're Batman? Like, I want to see that charismatic, outgoing Bruce. Like, that guy that can flip that switch to be like the brooding Batman and be like the charismatic Bruce Wayne, the social charismatic Bruce Wayne. But instead, he's just like, it's like... But I like the clip. It's just a mild complaint. I love that about, Bale's Batman. Like, his Bruce was so good. Philip Kennedy Johnson's so good, dude. What he's doing with Action Comics is amazing. Have you read Sean's Just Society? I've read some issues, but no, I have not read a lot of it. Batman, you running? DC, it's Batman, Robin, Nightwing, and Gotham Future State. Oh, Blue and Gold. You see that it's reported that Turk from Scrubs is going to be playing Booster Gold in like Legends of Tomorrow. Rumored right now. Enjoying Moon Knight. Enjoying Moon Knight. Robin's oh, your boy Slam with the $10 super chat. DC Vampires is getting really good. X-Men is a complete waste. I don't see any of these writers come close to Hickman and his road we saw in Hawks and Pox. This is the worst thing Marvel's done. Appreciate the $10, Slam. Thank you very much. I agree, DC Vampires is really good. I really like the fight between Batman and Green Arrow in the Batcave, so we can talk about that. Yeah. So, because I've been reading it on like Comixology. DC Vampires is great right now. That I felt like the pacing of the latest issue was a little rough, but overall I still enjoyed it. And I love that Green Arrow and Batman both like went their respective ways and like went and became recluses with their families and are like, we're just gonna figure things out. Also, the issue prior to that, when Dina, Black Canary, beats the crap out of Damian, was great. I love that. Well, let me scroll up. I feel like I missed something as well before we get into DC Vampires. Rereading the Ross Roberts Transformers continuity for the third time. Third time, damn. Don't like how Batman's siding with CGI movements. There was a little bit of that in that second trailer at the end when he's in the smoke. I did see like some weird looking CGI, yeah. I'm still super excited for the Batman though. Thoughts on Alex Ross? I love Alex Ross on covers, but him on interiors, missed me with that. Do not like him on interiors. I know people worship the guy. Beautiful covers. I don't like him on interiors because there's no kinetic energy like to his drawings. There's no movement. Everything's still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I wish DC would promote Action Comics more, dude. Because Action Comics is so good. Like I said, I'm going to have a big video on it coming out in like the next couple weeks. In my suffering. Have you read DC Zombies? Are you talking about Deceased or are you talking about like the current like Task Force Z thing? Because I've read Deceased. Deceased is pretty good. Especially the first volume is great. I have not seen Superman Lois Season 2 yet. I still need to watch the final episode of Season 1. Thoughts on Catwoman's suit on the Batman? Looks fine. Why do people continue to compare manga to Western comics? It's cringy because they're the two closest things. So of course people are gonna do it. I agree, it's stupid. They're completely different, but is what it is. Yes, that is a Hawkeye poster. That is David Aja from Matt Fraction's run. Love that run. Is it true about a Shazam movie coming out? We already had a Shazam movie. We're getting a sequel to the Shazam movie. I wish the God of Hammers was an actual character and not Mjolnir come to life, which is really dumb. Anyways, let's talk about DC Vampires. That's what I want to talk about. I just want to catch up on chat first. I really am interested to see what they... Again, with these books, I'm always like, what are they going to do with Superman? Especially because with vampires, if he can get infected, that's really dumb. Like, he's literally solar energy. Come on, if they can bite him, that's stupid. Like... Thoughts on Hawkeye show? It was fine. I haven't been blown away by any of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. Like, it was fine. There's some stupid stuff, but it was fine. What do you think of Invincible Season 1? Good, but some really stupid, like, changes from the comics that weren't needed. But I enjoyed it. I liked it. What do you think of the Catwoman anime movie? Have not seen it. Go Bobby Knuckles. Yeah, dude, I'm so hyped for next weekend. I just watched the countdown before this stream. I can't wait, dude. I'm going to be so nervous, though, during that fight. But, and new. But DC vs. Vampires is like, they've done a great job of not just making it deceased with vampires. And of course, the art is fantastic. I love seeing Otto Schmidt on this book. But that interaction between Oliver and Bruce was so good. I loved it. I also I do love how flirty like Babs and Dick are. Every time they're together, they're like teenagers. Like every time they're together, they're just like, they're at it. I honestly really like it. But this really makes me just want a Green Arrow book, dude. I want a Green Arrow book in main continuity. Give me a Green Arrow book. Yeah, Wonder Woman getting infected was huge. Yeah, I heard about Super Sons getting an anime movie. Hopefully that's good. Currently reading the Robin Nightwing run by Chuck Dixon for the first time. It's really good. So, dude, that's a great run. Just been murdering Izzy in UFC 4. Nice. I wish UFC 4 was on PC. Stupid EA, dude. Question is Sandman can because Dr. Destiny having the Dream Stone kind of breaks that. I'm talking about Deathstroke Inc. I think it's in the last issue. Everything.
Mr. Miyagi said when we ranking up.
That's James. Everything is canon in DC right now. That's the thing with ever since Dark Knight Metal. What is it called? I can't remember, dude. The sequel to Metal, Death Metal. Ever since that happened, the Omniverse happened and it made everything canon. So yeah, technically, it's stupid, but yeah.
Island Brutta said I only rank with you BBY.
My friend is talking in Discord through text-to-speech. I really hope things don't get bad. Green Arrow is very underrated, especially because in the show it wasn't even Green Arrow, it was Batman. Like, they made him Bruce Wayne, they made him dark and brooding, they made him a disciple of Ra's al Ghul. It was really dumb. You like Star Wars Expanded Universe? Some of it's really good, some of it's really bad. Thoughts on the Robin series? Robin is one of the best series of DC right now. I really enjoyed the arc that we just had. Where's Danielson respond? I don't know where Robert's at. What do you think of Daredevil new comic? I'm reading it in trade. I read Daredevil Woman Without Fear issue #1, which is good, by the way. That's also, let's talk about that real quick. So Zdarsky's staying on Daredevil. Everyone thought he's leaving, but he's staying, and Marvel's just rebooting it for no reason again. Why? Shut up, Selway. Good thing is Shabazz is too stupid to use text-to-speech. She doesn't know how. But and I hate they have the legacy numbering on there too, which shows you what the actual issue number is. Dude, like that pisses me off because I feel like that's just teasing you. Be like, yeah, we know, but we're not gonna actually do the actual issue. We're just gonna reboot.
Pizza time.
Oh snap! Your boy Slam with another $5 super chat. I think the Nightwing Batgirl footing is foreshadowing one of their brutal deaths. Also, Dark Age is great as well. I wonder how massive DC Vampire will go. Thanks for the $5, man. Man, it could be foreshadowing one of their deaths, probably, which would be sad. But that's what you do in these Elseworld stories. I have not read Dark Ages at all, but good to know that's good. I might check it out. I don't know if they'll if DC Vampires will go like as big as Deceased, if they'll do like with Deceased, you know, they had the spin-off books and they did a sequel. Maybe, because it's been really good so far. I'm enjoying it a lot, and like the fan response I've heard, everyone likes it too. It's not just me. What do you think of CW Flash? I watched the first like season or two. I enjoyed the first season, and then season 2 was just like a retread, and I was like, I'm done. Green Arrow was great, the Justice League Unlimited show. Thoughts on Moon Knight? I've read the first couple issues of this current Moon Knight series, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna read it in trade. Yes, I've heard about Superman being assaulted in Superman Red and Blue. That's why, like, that series, when it was announced, I'm like, this series looks horrible because none of these creative teams are good. But then there was one issue where they actually had some solid creative teams that were good. So that's just I don't know why they did that or how that was approved by editorial, but whatever. I don't really care because it's not like in one of the mainline books, even though technically everything's canon. So I really wish they would give Red Hood, I've been saying this for years, to a solid writer and bring him back to like more of how he was when he came back in the Red Hood. Make him the bad boy of the Bat Family. Stop nerfing Red Hood and making him a good guy. I want him to be an asshole. I want him to have some not so great morals. That's what makes him interesting. Otherwise he's just another member of the Bat Family, and he's one of the least interesting characters in the Bat Family because he just blends in. Make him that guy. Make him that guy that'll go over the edge. Come on. Instead of, oh, I use non-lethal stuff and I just want to fit in with the rest of the Bat Family. I don't want to step on anyone's toes. That's not Jason. Stop that. I hate it. But that Nightwing annual was good. You picking up Batman poster hardcover? Probably eventually. I have all 3 issues, so no need right now. But once it gets cheaper, I will, because it's like $30. So if it's cheaper, I'll get it definitely just to support it, because I love that book. But I already have all 3 issues, so. And the hardcover looks sexy. Thoughts of Dark Knights of Steel? That's what I talked about earlier in the stream. I'm enjoying it a lot. It's pretty good, but I'm worried about what they're going to do with Superman, because Superman's been pushed to the side so far, and they haven't covered much of him. And I'm afraid they're going to do something really stupid with Superman, because they always do. Williams Rob might in because DC interested in new Batman. She's an 8-year-old Asian girl. Well, that's great. Good job, DC. And one of the best books you have right now. Have you listened to the themes for Batman Riddler for the Batman movie? No, I have not. Some people on my Discord were talking about it, but I haven't checked it out yet. But if you want to join my Discord, link in the description. Thoughts on Batman Webtoon? Don't know anything about it, so no thoughts on it. I wish they get Judd Winnick back to write Red Hood. He wrote a really good Superman crypto story in Superman Red and Blue issue number 5, which I talked about in my best comics of the year video. Give Jason to Garth. Garth Ennis is like getting canceled again, so that's not gonna happen. Red Hood should have a Punisher writer fleshing him out if that could be possible. I'd love to see what Nathan Edmondson would do, but he kind of got kicked out of comics, so sad. Red Hood training with Deathstroke and Respawn might be nice. Are you suggesting that, or is that something that's like been teased to happen? Which superheroes do you think have the best internal conflicts? Well, Deathstroke, he's an anti-hero, but he always has like the great internal conflicts. When Marv Wolfman was writing him, I love that internal conflict with him. And Williamson's kind of been exploring that a bit.
Pizza time.
$5 super chat from your boy Slam. Thank you, Slam. I really appreciate all the donos, man. Ghost Rider is my favorite Marvel hero. Rick Remender on that annual for Uncanny Avengers was fantastic. High underrated annual of that character. Rick Remender's highly underrated, dude. He gave us the last good Captain America run. Captain America's been absolute garbage since he left. He did some great stuff. And then no one's known how to write Captain America since. And every time they announce a new writer for Captain America, I'm like, why is this guy on him? They're like, here's Ta-Nehisi Coates. Why the hell is he writing Captain America? And then they're like, here's Mark Waid. Mark Waid hasn't written a good book in like over a decade. What? And they're like, here's these other writers you never heard of. And Rick Remender's X-Force, I talk about it all the time. Severely underrated. My favorite run on X-Force. So good. If you have not read Rick Remender's X-Force, I think they released an omnibus for it. I have the 2 Epic collections. But I believe they released an omnibus for it. Pick that up. Rick Remender's X-Force is amazing. It's so good. I've never really gotten into Ghost Rider. I haven't really read much Ghost Rider. I've just seen him in other people's books. I haven't really read any solo Ghost Rider stuff. Will you ever make a video on Superman and Lois? I was thinking about it, and then I decided not to, honestly. I don't think I'm going to make a video on Superman and Lois. But who knows? 8-year-old Cajun girl is Mitch the right. Damn. I like Damian now. I think... So, Williamson has joined the exclusive club of people who know how to write Damian. A lot of people just make him an annoying dickhead. Grant Morrison knows how to write him because he created him and actually knows how Damian works. Tomasi knows how to write him. He's done great. With what he did with in the Batman and Robin book in the New 52 and with Super Sons. And Williamson now. Williamson knows how to write a good Damian. So those 3 writers have made me like Damian. How's it going, Mr. DC Comics? We've just been talking about a bunch of books. I've picked up this fat stack today. She's from Gotham Academy. Oh. Updated Spider-Man movie ranking. Spider-Man 2 is still the best. And then No Way Home might be my second favorite. No Way Home, I don't know if I like it better than Homecoming or not. It's hard to say. But I really like No Way Home. You listen to Chuck Dixon podcast. If you're talking about his YouTube channel where he does like the answering questions thing, yeah, I listen to that. Not every single time, but when I'm doing other stuff, I like having it on in the background. It's fun. He says a lot of cool, like, interesting things. Vigilante needs a Max comic. He's DC Punisher, but James Gunn's just ruined him. And I bet a couple months we're going to get a comic where he's like, how he's in the show. Yeah, agreed.
Pizza time.
Parched. Another $5 dono from your boy Slam. Thank you very much, man. Black Panther had some of my favorite character arcs, and all from Preach Run to Hickman's and the character, but when Coates got to him, I left. Oh, man. I love that notification. Thanks for renewing your membership, Donovan. Appreciate 12 months. Let's go. But hold on, I'm going to get back to both what Anonymous said and your boy Slam said. So, Coates has no business writing comics. The dude wrote novels and nothing even close to superheroes. And then he just came out of nowhere and started writing comics and just pushing his narrative. I don't know why the guy writes comics. He doesn't seem to like the characters or understand them. It's stupid. And now he's going to be writing that Superman movie. Dumb. But, whatever. I don't know why Coates is there. But, I agree, Anonymous. Vigilante's a really cool character. It's sad what they're doing with Marv Wolfman's character. They should just create a new character for the Vigilante they use in Peacemaker. Because he's Deadpool in Peacemaker. Sorry. So kind of congest a little bit. But it's stupid that they just make him Deadpool. I love the suit. The suit looks great. They did a great job of adapting the original Vigilante suit. Obviously, it doesn't look exactly like the comic, but it looks good. It's a good rendition of it. But the character is just a big dumb idiot. And I don't necessarily mind the character if he was a new character. It's kind of like what they did with Bloodsport in the Suicide Squad. I liked Idris Elba as that character in the Suicide Squad, but he's not Bloodsport. Bloodsport is a messed up maniac that kills men, women, and children and is a mass shooter. Not some likable anti-hero that Idris Elba plays as this suave guy. Just create a new character or choose someone else that more fits that character. I don't get that. Vigilante, also Marv Wolfman brought Vigilante back during his small little run on Nightwing in the 2000s, which with a really cool arc. Vigilante's a cool character. He shouldn't be like this. They're gonna reprint the Marv Wolfman run trade. Let's go. That's awesome. Just something I'm curious about, but what is the most you're willing to spend on an average trip to your comic shop? I feel like I've been overspending recently. Well, today, so I picked up, sorry, let's see, how much is this? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 issues. I believe this is $60. Not cheap. These are all new issues, though. None of these are back issues. So that it all, but this is like a couple weeks worth. This isn't like 1 week. I haven't been in my shop in a couple weeks. It's been like 2 or 3 weeks since I've been to my shop. So this isn't like, oh, in each week I'm spending $60. This is like 2 or 3 weeks worth of books. But yeah, I don't like, back issues are an occasional thing for me. I generally I buy my issues that come out each week, and then I get trades from like online. And occasionally I will I'll when I really want, like when I have extra money, or like I'll go into the back room where they have all the back issues, and I'll get a short box and I'll fill up a short box, because they have a thing where it's like fill up the short box as much as you can fill it up, and it's $50. I'll do that. That's fun. I've done that several times. Are you caught up with Action Comics? If so, what's the last thing that happened? Action Comics is great. It's really good. I don't really want to spoil it because I'm going to be making a video on it, and people should read it for themselves. Like, Action Comics is amazing. Superman's fighting in the arena. The last thing that really happened is Superman's going to learn to fight like a war worlder. That was like the big thing at the end of the issue. Read Action Comics if you're looking for a good Superman book, or if you're looking for a good book in general. If you're looking for something that's pretty, because Riccardo Federici's currently doing the arc, and the 2 artists prior were amazing. It's good. Read Action Comics. Didn't Coates say responders on 9/11 were menaces to nature? I don't know what his exact quote was, but I do remember hearing him saying something about like responders to 9/11. He's a dumbass. I agree, Xavier. Man, Hawks and Pox is so good, but dear God, do I hate Krakoa. I've ranted about this several times now. I hate Krakoa so much. Krakoa sucks and is one of the worst things to happen to the X-Men. Krakoa needs to get nuked. Get rid of Krakoa. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. God, it's so bad. How's it going, Bird of Bloodhaven? Which they did Bloodsport in the movie and the comics now. Yeah, I haven't read the current Bloodsport comic, like how he is in like, was he in Suicide Squad or whatever now in the comic, but yeah, you knew they were just going to change to be like the movie. Sucks. You like UFC MMA? Yes, I love watching MMA. And my favorite fighter, Robert Whittaker, is fighting for the belt next weekend, so I cannot wait for him to get revenge on Izzy and get that belt back. I'm going to be so nervous during that fight, though, but I cannot wait. You like some of the Bat family members more than Batman? Yeah, Dick Grayson is my favorite of that group. I like him better than Batman. Do you plan on reading Common America? I don't know what that is. I don't get why Marvel not use more of their black characters like Luke Cage, Monica Rambeau, and Misty Knight. Because why use your black characters when you can just race swap other characters and get in headlines? That's what they do. It's stupid. They have great characters that they push to the side to just race bend other characters. I really don't get where Luke Cage is gone. Like, he should have a premiere book at Marvel. Get a good creative team on him. DC also has Superboy Prime, good brand. Yeah, true. I've been trying to get more into UFC. Is there anything you'd recommend? Get Fight Pass. It's $10, or I believe you can get a free trial. And there's a lot of great fights on there you can watch. I'd recommend watching both Robert Whittaker versus Yoel Romero fights. Watch those fights. They fought twice. Amazing. Wow, those are 2 fights I just recommend off the top of my head. But yeah, you can get Fight Pass. It's like Netflix for UFC. Your Crow isn't the problem. It's all this filler and fluff that makes you hate it. Exoswords let me know this wasn't Hickman anymore. Well, yeah, there's like all this behind the stuff. Thank you for the $5, by the way, again. But yes, there's all this stuff that sucks, obviously. But Krakoa is annoying. Obviously, it's not the main problem. But even in books that are good, because there will be, like, Wolverine's kind of up and down in quality now. At the beginning, Wolverine is good, but it's been up and down. But even in the good issues, dude, every time they mention Krakoa, it pisses me off. I hate Krakoa. I hate Krakoa so much. But yeah, it's not the problem, but it's a problem. And it makes you not, like, the X-Men feel so distant and annoying. Like, they feel like these superior beings. And I hate Krakoa. And them being able to come back anytime. Thanks to Oscar Barons for the $5 Canadian super chat. I hope that Josh Williamson has better ideas for Tim Drake, because what they're now with him is just garbage. I feel sorry for Tim Drake. He should be, again, like Jason Todd, he should be so much more elevated than he currently is, but DC doesn't know what to do with him. They gave him a Bendis. Bendis turned him into a duck, and then they made him bisexual because they just wanted to. So when they made John bisexual, I didn't care, because John's newer character doesn't really have an established romance. Fine, good enough. I hate his love interest. I think his love interest is a garbage character. But John being bi, don't care. Fine, whatever. Tim being bisexual is really dumb and stupid because he has an established romance that's been going on for decades. But they're like, nah, he likes dudes as well now. And it's like, this is just stupid. Do this with a new character. Create a new character. Don't do it to Tim. But that's not the main problem with Tim. There's a bunch of other problems that they don't know what they're doing. But that's a symptom of one of the problems. Have you ever read the Cassandra Cain Batgirl solo run? I think I've read some back issues in it, because like they did a whole Deathstroke thing with her. I don't like Cassandra Cain. A lot of people like her. I don't. I think she's kind of stupid. But that's one of my unpopular opinions. A lot of people love Cassandra Cain. Her first language was fighting. Yeah, whatever. When Nightwing one-shot her on the beach during Jeff Johns' Titans, I was like, yes! Boxing kind of lame nowadays. My friends are like, check out UFC. MMA is so much better than boxing now. Because you don't have all this promoter problems. All the great fighters. There's a few great fighters in other orgs, like One Championship, Bellator. But most of the great fighters are under UFC, so you don't have this problem to where there's like 1,800 belts for one weight class in boxing. And no one wants to fight each other. Everyone's wanted Fury versus Joshua for how long? But Joshua keeps getting his ass beat in between. That fight's never gonna happen. But yeah, boxing's stupid. Boxing has some great fights, but boxing's too stupid right now. And also, I hate, what is it, 3-minute rounds? 3-minute rounds piss me off. 5-minute rounds give you so much more time to work and so much more fun compared to, here's 13 3-minute rounds.
Said, hey,
it's like, ugh, stop. Boxing pissed me off. BC just casted the black guy from Scrubs as Booster Gold. Yeah, Turk. I heard about that. Your boy Slam with another $10 super chat. Thank you very much. Dude, I bet they don't even know the end game for Resurrection X-Men that can't keep going on and on. Also, Green Gray can beat Nightmare now. Power Scaling's dead. Power Scaling's been dead for so long. It's literally just whoever the writer feels like. It's stupid. But yeah, like, they got a new Krakoa, dude. Everyone constantly being able to come back makes no sense. And
pizza time. It's
weird because, so Disney, to spite Fox, was like, screw the X-Men. The Inhumans are our new X-Men. We don't have the screen rights. Screw you, X-Men. You guys are gone. They got rid of them. After years of not really knowing what to do with them, they got rid of them. And then they bought 20th Century Fox, and they're like, okay, X-Men are back! And we got Jonathan Hickman writing them. And they're like, okay, but we have these dumbass editors that don't know what they're doing, and they're going to interfere with everything Hickman wants to do. And we're also going to have 15 X-Men books. So good luck with keeping up with all of that. And so they ruined the X-Men again. Marvel doesn't know what they're doing. They need to get better editors for the X books, because the editors they have right now don't know what they're doing. Most of them. Do you think that reading digital is better for new readers? Not really. It's all personal preference. I don't think it matters if you're new or not. How's it going, Skankster? Bro, you don't care all the characters being turned blind. Like I said, John, I don't think matters. Tim, I think is stupid that Tim is bi. John, him being bi doesn't matter. I think his love interest is stupid. I'm mad that they gave him a love interest in general, but his love interest as a character is a bad character. But John being bi, I don't care. John's a newer character. He hasn't had like an established romance. Doesn't really matter. Tim is stupid and is dumb, and it's clear why they did it. Tim, I'm mad that they made bi, but John, I don't really care. I hope Krakoa gets the Genosha treatment. Dude, I hope Krakoa gets the Nagasaki treatment. Krakoa needs to get shot in the space. Yeah. I'd catch up a chat. Tim Drake should have gone to politics for Batman. He could have become a mayor or a pure detective. Like the question. Him being a pure detective would be cool. I always said he should be the successor to Bruce, not Dick, because Dick is his own person. Like he's carved out his own little thing. Like he's Nightwing. He takes care of Bloodhaven. To where Tim belongs more to Gotham, and he is more of a. He makes more sense as a successor to Bruce. I think that'd be really cool. Bro, that whole comic right now. I read the first issue. I haven't read anything past it. Him being a spaceship was kind of weird. Is it good? I don't know. They need to retcon Wanda and Pietro back. Yes, they do. Them making... I hated that. Like, they need to be Magneto's kids. DC should bring back Dixon, let him do Tim what he did to Nightwing. I wish, but they won't. How's it going, Tiger Garza? Stop.
Pizza time.
Speaking of question, when the hell are we going to get another Question or Hellraiser book? I just want more really. We did get a really good Question Black Label book from Jeff Lemire. It's pretty good. If you haven't read that, I suggest checking out. It's 3 issues and it's in the magazine format. And thank you to your boy Slam for another $5 super chat. The only consequence of Resurrection, if you don't remember, unless there's a psychic, the only character who has benefited from Resurrection is Darwin. Yeah, like they tried to do that with like X-Force when they brought back Domino. They tried to do a whole like, oh, she's just like different now and she doesn't remember stuff, blah blah. And it was like, I just don't care. It's just comics already suffer from not having consequences because everyone always comes back and you know nothing's gonna happen. But this, like, Krakoa took it to another level. Like, just, it's really dumb. Because before, we as readers were always aware of it, but now the characters in universe are aware of it. Are just like, yeah, we'll just bring you back. And also, like, I wish they make Cyclops a good character again. Cyclops has been treated like garbage for like 20 years. I wish they would stop making him just like some dickhead and actually, like, I miss Claremont Cyclops. Being very problematic for Krakoans right now. And also, stop having the X-Men, like, fight plants. It's so, like, that stuff in X-Force is annoying. It's so uninteresting. What do you think about Mandalorian episode? I've made several videos. I've made a video for every episode of the Book of Boba Fett. So if you want to know my opinions on that, you can watch those videos. But overall, first 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett sucked. Last 2 were pretty good as far as being Mandalorian episodes, but they don't belong in the Book of Boba Fett. I'm watching for 3 years. Well, thank you for sticking around for that long. Appreciate it. Well, yeah, Krakoa will eventually end. It's just, who knows when. Just eventually it will, all things do. Sorry about that. But, like, man, it's really disappointing because Hoxapox was really good. House of X and Powers of X was a great story. And then it just went downhill.
Mr. Miyagi said be right back, gotta restart for driver update to take effect.
Thanks, James. I don't know who Young Rippa is. Batman's true successor is Terry McGinnis. I mean, yeah, eventually. But I'm talking about if you do anything sooner than that. Especially because, like, Tim doesn't have a place right now. Like, he doesn't have his own thing carved out. He's just Tim. He doesn't, like, he's not really Robin. He's not Red Robin. He's got nothing. Where I feel like him being Batman would make sense, especially because that's, you know, that's how he started out, as being like the detective, figuring out who Batman was. It's Marauders, yeah. Wolverine, the current Wolverine event's really stupid. X Lives of Wolverine, where Wolverine went there, like went back in time and was there for like the birth of Xavier, is fighting Omega Red, who's mind controlling people in the past. I don't know if any of you guys read the first issue of like X Lives of Wolverine, but it's really stupid. The issue prior to that, which was a one shot of like Wolverine meets Moby Dick, was great. Like that was great. Thoughts on Matrix Supergirl? Matrix Supergirl was really interesting, and like what was it, like Jurgens did that. I thought Matrix Supergirl was interesting. When I first read Death of Superman, I hadn't read any of the stuff surrounding it, so I had no clue about Matrix Supergirl. So when Doomsday punches Supergirl and she turns into like this pink alien, I was like, what the hell? Like that confused me so much. Like if you just read Death of Superman, you don't know all the surrounding stuff with Superman. It's like, what is going on when Doomsday like punches her and she turns into Matrix? It was weird, but I thought Matrix Supergirl was interesting. I liked it. And like her being with the Kents and like learning how to be human. What's up, Jay Johnson? You watch Cobra Kai? No, but my YouTube recommended got infested with Cobra Kai like a month ago, and so I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on it. I'm like, I kind of want to watch Cobra Kai. Is it possible to love Superman while just still joking about him? Well, yeah, of course. What do you think of Martian Manhunter? I like Martian Manhunter, but I've never really like loved Martian Manhunter or like cared too much. Favorite current comic? Action Comics. Action Comics is the best ongoing book right now, in my opinion. I love it. I think Action Comics is great. The story that Philip Kennedy Johnson is telling right now, with the art from Riccardo Federici, oh, dude, I have faith he'll stick the landing. I like with how good he is at weaving stories and world building. If you haven't read The Last God was a book he did prior to this, and it's so good. I have faith in the way he taught, like his voice for Superman's so good. Do you think Luke is better at handling EU than Disney can? Yeah. Dude, Disney doesn't know what they're doing. Like, Filoni and Favreau has done a pretty good job with Luke, other than one of the things they did in the newest episode of Book of Boba Fett, which I won't talk about because I don't want to spoil anything. But overall, they do pretty good. But what they did with him in The Last Jedi was dumb. Also, what do you dislike about Cassandra Cain? I think she's just a stupid character. I don't find her interesting. I think making her like the best fighter in the
Island
Batman
Brutta
is
said,
stupid.
I hear you just fine.
And I don't, like, every time I read her, I'm like, she's just not interesting to me. I just don't find her interesting. Best Marvel Disney Plus show? Probably WandaVision or Hawkeye. That's not saying much. Because Falcon and Winter Soldier was horrible. Falcon and Winter Soldier sucked. What are the other shows? Loki was okay, but not very good.
Pizza time.
$10 super chat from your boy Slam. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, man. DC movie versus going downhill in flames. Marvel just did No Way Home. The consolidation of... Sorry, the chat just moved. Of Spider-Man, Love versus Injustice, Supergirl, and bad cosplay Batgirl lead the DC movies. DC movies is an interesting spot because the Batman looks amazing. I can't wait for that. I've enjoyed the first Shazam. I hope Shazam 2 is good. I really liked Aquaman. I know some people didn't like it. It was really cheesy, but I liked the cheesiness of it. And Aquaman 2, I think, could be really good. The Wonder Woman sequel was awful. The Wonder Woman sequel sucked. Where Superman's basically done. We're going to be getting the Ta-Nehisi Coates Superman, but no Henry Cavill Superman anymore, which is disappointing. Because I love Henry Cavill as Superman. DC movies in a weird spot. But there's still some good stuff. The Batgirl movie does not look good, and it's weird that's an HBO Max movie. Supergirl showing up in the Flash movie looks horrible, and Supergirl showing up there is weird, and her apparently replacing... Like, those rumors about, like, how they're doing the new Justice League with Michael Keaton and Supergirl sounds horrible. But we'll see if that's true. Hey, man, have you read Justice League Infinity? It's awesome. Justice League Infinity. What's Justice League Infinity? I don't know if I have. Let's see. No, I have not read Justice League Infinity. Oh, this is like a Bruce Timm style book? Oh, this is like a follow-up to that? Okay. I have not read it, no. How do you feel in the new Darth Vader comics? Talking about the Greg Pak run, I'm several issues behind, so I can't really comment on it, but I enjoyed some of the stuff I read. Have your thoughts on Superman Man of Tomorrow changed? What did I say about Superman Man of Tomorrow before? I'm trying to think. Oh, are you talking about the what's it called? The Venditti book? Is that what you're talking about? Because if so, I only read like the first 2 issues. I haven't read all of it. Are you looking forward to Obi-Wan show? I want it to be good, but Disney Plus has not done anything good in a while, so I have no faith. Remember the Beyond story with Dick trying to prevent his daughter from following in his footsteps? I've always thought that would have made more sense with old man Jason Todd. That would be interesting with Jason Todd. Would you like a Superman live-action crossover like No Way Home? Not really. I don't think it's needed for Superman, to be honest. Although if they did Infinite Crisis with the different Superman, with Superboy Prime, Earth 2 Superman, stuff like that, that would be cool. You prefer Emma Frost or Jean Grey for Cyclops? I prefer Emma, but Cyclops' character downward spiral did kind of start when he began dating Emma. I like him with Jean. I'm more classic. I like him with Jean. Oh yeah, we got the Black Adam movie. Who knows how that'll be. The animated film. Oh, no, the anime film. No, my opinion hasn't changed on that. The video that I made about it, I still hold to that. I like it. It's a good movie. I haven't watched it since, though. I don't know why they thought Patty Jenkins should write it either. But Patty Jenkins clearly did not do a good job writing the Wonder Woman sequel. That, oh, dude. I watched that on Christmas like a lot of people did. How's it going in Zai? And I was like, man, I enjoyed the first Wonder Woman. The final act of the first Wonder Woman movie is not good, but up until then it's good, and it's still overall an enjoyable movie. None of 1984 is good, other than Gal Gadot looking good. The movie's bad. Gal Gadot. Like, oh man. That movie's just so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Superboy Prime's a cool character. I love Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis is probably my favorite event book until Doomsday Clock. Both Jeff Johns events, coincidentally, or not so coincidental. Man, I wish Jeff Johns was back in control of like the big pieces in DC. Man, the story he told with Doomsday Clock is so good, and then DC just didn't follow it at all. Do you think the DC animated films are heading in the right direction with Long Halloween Man Tomorrow and Justice Society World War II? I think it's a better direction than what we have with the New 52 movies, but I don't know if it's necessarily the right direction because I still don't like how they're changing things. They should have just adapted the Long Halloween. Them changing things was stupid and it did not make it better. The changes were not better. What are you doing? Like these... For the live action movies, I get changing things and doing like your own stuff, whatever. Like Winter Soldier isn't an exact adaptation of the Winter Soldier movie. I mean, of the Winter Soldier storyline for Brubaker. Makes sense, fine. I know that's Marvel, but you get the gist. But when you're doing an animated movie, that should be for the fans. That should be for the fans of these characters that have read these comics and want to see the adaptation. You shouldn't be like, oh, they already know the story, so let's change it. No. That's not what these are. These are for the fans that want to see this play out on the screen. Like, changing the death of Superman was stupid. Stop it. Just adapt. Under the Red Hood's the best because they got the guy that wrote the comic to write the screenplay. Judd Winnick wrote the screenplay for that. He decided what needed to be changed. He was like, oh, I wish I would have written this differently. Oh, this would make sense to cut out. He did great. Do that. Infinite Crisis or Secret Wars? I have not read all of the 2015 Secret Wars, so I can't say, but probably Infinite Crisis from what I did read of Secret Wars. That's not literally retcon the JSA a month after Doomsday Clock ended. Now they're not part of the DCU. Yeah. Dude, that ending to Infinite Crisis is so good. And then also Infinite Crisis set up my favorite Superman story, my favorite comic of all time. Superman Up, Up, and Away. So, Infinite Crisis. They go through the kryptonite asteroid field, and they go through like the red sun. They land on that planet, and the three Supermen fight. And Superman gives that speech to Superboy Prime. So good. Imagine seeing that on the big screen, or even on the small screen in an animated movie. Ah. They should get the comic book writers that wrote the comics to adapt them. Not necessarily any comic book writer, because they got Tomasi, who I love, to write the Death of Superman movie, and it was like, why not just get Dan Jurgens or someone else? Because Death of Superman was written by a bunch of different people. But thoughts on Final Crisis? I like Final Crisis. I don't love it, but I like it. I think the companion actually adds to that book, which a lot of companions don't. But the companion adds so much to the death of Martian Manhunter in Final Crisis. Because if you just read Final Crisis, the death of Martian Manhunter is kind of a footnote. But if you read the companion, then it actually adds a lot to the death of Martian Manhunter. So that's one thing I'll say about Final Crisis. You like X-Men First Class? That's my favorite of the X-Men team movies. I love X-Men First Class. I think it's better than any of the other X-Men movies, like, you know, X-Men 1 through 3, or I think it's much better than Days of Future Past. I like Days of Future Past, but I think Days of Future Past is overrated. Focuses way too much on Mystique, who I love Mystique in the comics, but in the movies I'm not the biggest fan of her, especially Jennifer Lawrence Mystique. Do not like Jennifer Lawrence Mystique. And it focuses way too much on her. Superboy Prime is the most annoying character ever. He's supposed to be annoying. I like Superboy Prime. You think they should get comic writers to write movies since they understand the material? Maybe. I think there are some people that could do it. Not everyone could do it, because Jeff Johns is, in my opinion, Jeff Johns is my favorite comic book writer of all time. But, as evidenced by some of the movies he's done, he doesn't always do the best at adapting that stuff to the screen. Like with Titans or the Green Lantern movie. Maybe it's because he didn't have full control. That could be it. Who knows? But he doesn't do the best stuff. But some of the stuff like Aquaman's really good. So, yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean that comic writers will do great at adapting stuff to the screen. But who knows? I definitely think they should get the guys that wrote the comics to write the animated movies. I think that's a good idea. Shaw Dreadwinning was a great example of that with Under the Red Hood. You see the first look at Action Comics 1040. I saw like a page that Philip Kennedy Johnson posted. Ezra Miller as the Flash is a very horrible decision, and I don't know who came up with that. I don't know who. Well, it was obviously Snyder who decided, but Ezra Miller, why? Yeah, Grant Morrison or Jonathan Hickman. Overall, Grant Morrison. Modern day, Jonathan Hickman. Grant Morrison's been kind of out there recently more than usual. His Superman and what was it? Not Superman, the Elite. What the heck's it called? Have it like Superman and the Authority. Superman and the Authority was god awful. His Green Lantern run is mixed. I like some of it. It was really weird. It was even more weird than normal Grant Morrison. But yeah, he writes so he written some great things, but currently not the best. Jonathan Hickman, I feel like modern day is better, but overall, I'd say Grant Morrison has a better resume, in my opinion. Question. Yeah, I saw Williamson retconned every event. Like I said earlier in the stream, Williamson's solo books, like Robin, Batman, Deathstroke Inc., really good. His overarching books that affect like everything, like event style books like Justice League Incarnate and Infinite Frontier, not so good. What do you expect of the Flashpoint Beyond miniseries? I don't know, dude. Tom Taylor made me hate by Flashpoint Batman because of what he did with him and his Batman run. So that I'm like, ugh, why are you bringing I'm like done with Flashpoint because of Tom King. Going to Neil. I wouldn't agree that the Red Hood movie is much better than the comic. I could see, I don't know if I like it or the comic better. They're very similar, like they're basically the same, but you know. But I don't know. I think they're similar quality. I could see liking it better, but I wouldn't say it's much better. I don't get how you would like it that much better, but teach their own. I did a good job of cutting a lot of the fat. Got some Swamp Thing comics, nice. The current Swamp Thing Black Label book from Jeff Lemire and Doug Mankey. Read the first issue, really good. The hardcover of Tom King's Rorschach keeps getting reduced more and more. Nice. I have not read Titans Academy, but I heard Titans Academy is not very good. And isn't that, what's his name, like Tim Sheridan or whatever writing that? So, that guy's not that good. He like came from like the animated side of things and didn't really do so good in that part. So I don't know why he got rewarded with like some big comics. He's writing part of the Flashpoint miniseries thing. Who's my third favorite Justice League member? I don't know off the top of my head, dude. You'd have to give me like a list because it's like everyone's been a part of the Justice League. I don't know if you're talking like core Justice League or we're talking about like anyone that's ever been a part of the Justice League. Going J-Pod, what's up, Keith? Yeah. Oh, this is a new Lakey Inspired track. I haven't heard this. Favorite female superhero? I don't know. I really like Wonder Woman because of Brian Azzarello's run during the too. I think that's great. But like, if we're talking not heroes, like I really like Mystique. I think comic book Mystique is really cool. She's not a hero. Yeah, I don't know why Tim Sheridan got a part of the Flashpoint book. I have no clue how he got a part of that. It makes no sense. Have they revealed who Red X is yet in Titans? Or is that still an ongoing, like, who is Red X? Yes, I saw the Gary Frank covers. They look amazing. Favorite EU comic? They're talking about Star Wars, I'm assuming, the expanded universe. I don't know because I've like I've read back issues and then I have the whole omnibus of Boba Fett, so like my mind's kind of scrambled when it comes to EU. And I also read the what was it, like the sequel book where Palpatine cloned himself and Luke like turns. But my brain's kind of scrambled where I don't really know the name of arcs because like I have that big omnibus of Boba Fett. What do you think of the current stuff they're doing with X-Men? Talked about this earlier. I think a lot of it's really dumb. They've done some good stuff, like Hawks and Pox was really good, and the beginning of the Wolverine run, the current Wolverine run was really good, but now most of the stuff sucks for X-Men. Yeah, I've never read Chuck Austin's X-Men, but have you read Star Wars EU novels? I've read the Republic Commando stuff, but that's it. From, what's her name? Oh, I can't remember her name. Karen something? Karen... God, what's her name? She did really good. She did a lot of good stuff, like a Mandalorian lore that's all been scrapped to the side now, but... Karen Travis. I think that's her name. I'm pretty sure it's Karen Travis. She wrote the Republic Commando books. Really good stuff. Other than that, I have not read any of them. That was years ago. I got those from the library and read those. But it's really hard for me to read books because I'm an idiot. You got the Grant Morrison Batman Omnibus, Batman Inc. Nice, solid. Yeah, Mystique's a really cool character. I think Mystique is badass. But I didn't really like how they did her with Jennifer Lawrence. Maybe it's because I just don't really like Jennifer Lawrence. Dude, the variant comic covers for Dark Knights of Steel have been amazing. Those have some really sick variant covers. And this thumbnail, I used one of the variant covers from Dan Mora. Yeah, Karen Travis is great. What she did with the Republic Commandos and in the EU was really cool. She's not associated with anything right now with any Star Wars stuff, is she now? Because you'd think with Disney's push of wanting to get more women in and stuff, you would get a talented woman that the fans like Karen Traviss, but she writes too good. Disney's probably like, nope, we don't want her. Do you ever plan on reading Thrawn trilogy? No. Are the current Star Wars comics any good? Not really. I'm not caught up on Darth Vader. I need to get caught up on Darth Vader. Some of that was good, but the Charles Soule Star Wars stuff I wasn't like the biggest fan of, so I dropped it. And the War of the Bounty Hunters arc was really stupid. It was just an excuse to bring back Red Dawn, which no one wanted Red Dawn. Favorite current Marvel book? Look at what I'm reading from Marvel right now. Because Thor sucks right now, and Wolverine's in a horrible arc right now. And those were two of my favorites. But right now, they're not in a good spot. Let's see, what am I reading from Marvel? Hold up, give me a second. Star Wars Bounty Hunters, actually. Oh, why did I not think of that when you asked for Star Wars book? Star Wars Bounty Hunters is really good. That's my favorite Marvel book. Star Wars Bounty Hunters from Ethan Sachs. That's actually really good. I've read The Walking Dead. I've read the first issue and that's it. After Civil War 2, I never recover from buying comics. Civil War 2 is horrible. But there's some great books at DC right now. Marvel, not so much. And then there's also great independent stuff. Like everything Jeff Lemire does. You're not a fan of Morrison's Batman? I think Morrison's Batman's great for the most part. Especially what he did with Batman Robin. That's something like the last good comics Grant Morrison wrote. Because current modern day Morrison's not that great. I wish he would do a novel for Sev. We could find out what the hell happened to Sev. Her version of Star Wars is very ethically having morally great characters. Yep, true. That's why I ranted about my first Book of Boba Fett video. I talked about everyone has to have a heart of gold. That's a protagonist in Disney Star Wars. You can't follow that. You can't have someone that's morally gray at all. Like, you can't have a bad guy or anyone that's, like, maybe isn't just good. It's just stupid. What do you think of Static Shock? Great name, by the way. Why the 3000? Why? Static Shock's cool. I've never really gotten too much of Static Shock. I think his design is sick, though. I think he looks really cool. I was trying to get into Titan comics. If you've read any of those that are good, yeah, read the what Marv Wolfman and George Perez did back in the day with New Teen Titans. So good. Darth Vader is good, but the Crimson Dawn arc is terrible, and it's in every Star Wars book. Yeah, the Crimson Dawn stuff is horrible. No one wanted Crimson Dawn back, but for some reason they're like, here's this Crimson Dawn. Favorite DC animated movie? Under the Red Hood, which is just one of the best comic movies in general, not even just animated. Yeah, J-Pod, check out Bounty Hunters. It's really good. What's up, Danny? Although I will say right now, they're transitioning, they're doing like this one arc, they're like every issue's about like, so you have one issue that's actually good, that's like about like the main character, freaking what's it, Vanek? I don't know why I forgot his name. But he's really cool, and then you have like this other thing that they've been doing this for the past couple issues, where they're switching between like two different sets of characters, and the other sets they're gonna be colliding, but the other set of characters aren't interesting at all. Valance, that's his name. I don't know why I forgot his name, but I will say that. But it's been really good. It's just like the past couple issues have been like doing this alternating thing, and they're gonna collide. But yeah, anyways. She left. She left because Lucasfilm wouldn't let her write anymore because Republic 2 wasn't coming out. Oh, that's so stupid, dude. Considering they never did Republic Commando 2, they should just let her figure out what happened with those characters. Flash and Robin, my favorite DC titles currently. Usually more Marvel person, but their ongoings mostly just been okay. That's what I was saying. The Marvel stuff currently is not good. Like, DC's overarching stuff is bad, but their ongoings, they have some really solid ongoings, like Action Comics Robin, Deathstroke Inc. Like, they have some good stuff. But I need to read Flash. Everyone keeps saying I have amazing Flashes. Do you find it hard to read Silver Age books? I mean, sometimes it can be a little hard, but not really. But I'm used to, like, the chaos. Thoughts on Young Justice Season 4? Have not watched it, because Season 3 kind of turned me off from Young Justice. So, thoughts on the Harley Quinn TV series? Every clip I've seen of that is just pure cringe, and I hate it. A lot of people I know love the Harley Quinn TV show. I have not watched an episode, but the clips I've seen of it are just, oh, it's so bad. Jason and Damian are part of Young Justice now? Nice. I've never read any Mortal Kombat comics by DC, no. But yeah, Moon Knight's really good from the few issues I read of it. But like I said, Moon Knight and Daredevil are great. Those books are really good, but I'm reading those in trade. We're getting into new Lakey checks that I haven't heard. I guess he must have released something recently. I feel like I haven't heard these. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Or maybe just for some reason it's now like on here where before, like, yeah, it doesn't look like he's released anything new. It's just Spotify would never get to this part. You see that Philip Kenny Johnson's in a Q&A on Reddit? No, I did not. I didn't know that. I'll need to check that out. Hey, read Kingdom Come. I feel like I don't hear anything positive about him, but I read that and it was so good. About who? About Mark Waid you talking about? Because Kingdom Come was apparently like written by Alex Ross basically, and Mark Waid just did the dialogue. Like apparently all the story was just all Alex Ross, and Mark Waid was just there for like the dialogue. But Kingdom Come I like. I do think it's really overrated, and I hate the part where Superman has to be convinced not to murder a building full of people. I think that part's really stupid and not Superman. I don't understand why Kingdom Come is regarded as one of the best Superman stories. There's literally a part where an old man has to convince Superman not to murder a building full of people. So, yeah. Not a fan of season 4 of Young Justice Politics. Legit for the first 3 episodes over nothing driving the story forward as a whole. I have no context for that, so I don't know what's going on in Young Justice season 4. But in season 3, I hated that they focused on new characters I didn't care about. They focused on the chick who can't die and the prince dude, and I did not give a crap about any of those characters. It's like, hey, we've been gone for years. You like the first 2 seasons of those characters we got you familiar with and that you know and love? Well, here's 2 new characters that you don't care about. And what? Thoughts on No Way Home? Really good. I like No Way Home. Will you be picking up the new Jason Aaron Punisher book? Is that the one where they give him the horrible symbol and he's like fighting ninjas? Man, Jason Aaron I used to really like, but his recent stuff has not been so good. I've read a few issues of his Avengers and it is bad. So I don't know, because Jason Aaron I used to like his like Southern Bastards, which was one of his indie books, and like some of the stuff he did with Wolverine I enjoyed, but man, he's like fallen off. So I don't know if I'll check. I think I'm gonna wait and hear if I hear it's good, I'll pick it up. But I don't think I'm gonna pick it up initially. You hear about Jurassic League? Yeah, I did. Don't know why they're doing Jurassic League. That's weird. Everybody it's just like Jeff Loeb used to be good, now I've fallen far. Well, Jeff Loeb just does like Netflix stuff now. He occasionally writes stuff like he hasn't written anything in like he occasionally writes stuff every now and again. Doesn't really like write much anymore. Ever read Avatar: The Last Airbender comics? I read the one series where they say what happened to Zuko's mother. I liked it. Didn't love it. Wasn't anything that great, but it was good. And that's the only Last Airbender comics I've read. Frank is the leader of the Hand or something. Oh, dude, that's so dumb. The Hand, everyone, it feels like, has been a leader of the Hand at this point. And, like, who cares about the Hand anymore? I liked it when, like, it's like Sabretooth and Mystique were, like, leading the Hand. I thought that was interesting. You hate season 3, season 4 will make you pull out your hair. Context, Beast Boy is depressed and going through suicidal thoughts. A lot of still moving images, flashbacks, and recycle animation. So Tom King's writing season 5. That's the thing with season 3 was the action was horrible because of how low the budget was compared to their Cartoon Network budget. The action was bad on top of the story not being interesting, and then focusing on characters they didn't care about. I'll steer clear of season 4. Yeah, Andrew, I like Identity Crisis. I know a lot of people don't. I really enjoy Identity Crisis. I think it's a good mystery book. I liked it. I don't think it's the best thing ever, but I also don't get the hate for it. Have you read Batman Dark Victory? I don't think Tim Sale's art is for me. I have read Batman Dark Victory. It's good, and I do agree about Tim Sale's art, where I like it when he's writing like crazy things, like some stuff in Gotham can work. But when he not writing, drawing, but when he's drawing like Superman, like in For All Seasons, I don't like it. He's definitely not one of my favorite artists, that's for sure. Do you read any manga or watch any anime? Nope. Yeah, I saw that they did the Batman Long Halloween special, but I did not read it. I might check it out though, because I read Long Halloween's such a good book. Long Halloween and Dark Victory are both great. How's it going, Alan? What have you missed? You've missed an hour and 30 minutes of talking about various comics. So I read Daredevil in trade, so I haven't read Devil's Reign yet, so can't comment. Yeah, I know people didn't like that, but I thought what they did with Identity Crisis was interesting and like lent into the story, and I liked it, honestly. But man, dude, we're like a month away from the Batman. That's crazy. I can't wait for that movie. Can't wait for the Batman. I hope it's good, dude. Needs to give us Deceased 3. Yeah, have we gotten anything announced about when Deceased 3 is happening? I know Taylor's writing, like, he's writing Nightwing, he's writing, was it the Dark Age Marvel book? He's writing the medieval DC book, The Dark Knights of Steel. That's 3 books. He's writing a couple more, I think, as well. He's doing a lot right now. I hope that Deceased 3 is obviously coming, but I don't know if we know anything and when. Yeah, I saw the Batman release scene. We talked about it earlier. You read the one without Fear No One, but not Devil's Reign. Yep. But yeah, the Batman release scene was good. Other than I want to see that charismatic Bruce Wayne. I want to see him turn that switch on and off. I hate when that cop's like Bruce Wayne and he just stares at him like an idiot. It's like, dude, are you even trying to hide that you're Batman? That part I didn't like. It's just a small nitpick though. But that's what I loved about Bale's Batman so much. Bale did so good. He was the best Bruce Wayne we've had. He was so good at being that like douchey, like socialite, charismatic like Bruce Wayne. Like he's so good at that. He's so good at turning on and off. And then he'd be like go into a room with Alfred and he'd suddenly be, you know, he'd be Batman. But then when he's out around everyone, he's so good at being like Bruce Wayne and making you think, oh, that guy's not Batman. They act completely different. But Pattinson's Batman, Bruce in that one scene is like, yeah, that guy's Batman right there. 100%. If I had to bet money, I would bet that guy's Batman. The rich recluse who acts like a social reject and is staring at the car. That's Batman. I think Robert Pattinson will be good as Batman. We'll find out in a month. Why do you think Superman gets such a bad rap? Honestly, I think a big reason that he gets a bad rap is because of the animated universe, especially the Justice League show. If you watch the Justice League show, he's always playing second fiddle to Batman. He's getting his ass kicked by like Wonder Woman. He's like, he can never do anything himself. They have a few good episodes in Justice League with Superman, but for the most part, he's always like, he's never good enough, and he's always an idiot that just thinks with his fists and never can like actually think things through. Like Bruce Timm did not do a good job with Superman. I know a lot of people love that animated like universe Superman, but and like you watch the Superman Batman movie from like the 90s, like early 2000s they did, and like Superman and Lex are kind of these idiots, and then Batman Joker are like the best, and it's like, I think the animated universe did a lot of damage to Superman, to be honest. Is the Planet of the Apes trilogy on anything? I don't know who produced those movies. Like, is it on any streaming service? People don't like Superman because of DCEU. That is not true at all. There was big stigma against Superman prior to the DCEU. Way before the DCEU was ever a thing. There was a thing about him being a boring and a Boy Scout and blah, 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 and being too overpowered and all this other stuff. That way before DCEU. Christian Bale did sound stupid when he was talking as Batman. In Batman Begins, he sounds fine, but Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises, he sounds like an idiot. But his Bruce Wayne was always great. Yeah, before I started reading comics, I had Superman for the animated universe. Exactly, because he's not written well. Like, there's some good stuff in some of the Justice League and Superman the Animated Series, but for the most part, he's incompetent. And I think that's a big thing, is he's an incompetent dumbass in those. Like, he's not Superman. Because, like, I've mentioned it a billion times before, but there was an interview in the Batman Superman movie, because I had that on DVD when I was a little kid, and in it there's an interview with Bruce Timm, and he talks about how he loved working on Batman the Animated Series, and Batman was his favorite character, and he loves him. And then they ask about Superman, he's like, and I also worked on the Superman show. And it's like, that's just so telling. He loves Batman to death, and then Superman, he's like, he's a character. It's like, yeah, Bruce Timm just has a boner for Batman. That's why Wonder Woman's in love with Batman. That's why Batman always solves the problem. That's why Batman's always the big hero in those. Anything Bruce Timm's involved with, every girl wants to bang Batman. Batman figures everything out. Batman's the best. Anytime it's a Bruce Timm thing, that always happens. But Superman's an incompetent dumbass. It's not on any streaming service? Damn. It should be on HBO. Did Warner Brothers do it? Well, check out. Do you think Michael Keaton was as good as Bruce Wayne? He's fine. Obviously, the "Let's Get Nuts" scene is great. Wanna get nuts? Let's get nuts. I love that song. Justice also made a lot of happy plates through him, but like far before Injustice, there was like I'm talking about, why did kids growing up think Superman was lame and Batman was cool? Because that was a big thing when I was growing up. Was every kid thought thought Superman was lame, and they liked Batman, thought Batman was the best. And the main reason I found why was because of the animated universe, where bottom line, Superman was an incompetent idiot and Batman was a badass that solved everything. How bad do you think Disney's going to screw up the Old Republic? Oh god, it's going to be horrible. I have no faith in what they're doing, dude. And every time I see like artwork for like that Old Republic like comic and stuff, not the art quality is fine. I'm talking about the designs where like people have like modern day haircuts, like where they like the girls with like the half shaved heads and stuff, and it's like, it takes me out of the book. It doesn't feel like Star Wars, you know? And it's like, what are you doing? Considering that Batman has more movies than animated series. Well, he has that because he's more popular. It wasn't like he got that because he was less popular. He got that because he's more popular. But it's because you get a lot distributed by Fox. Oh. Well, then I have no clue where that's going to be. That'd be anywhere because Disney owns it, but Disney doesn't have all... Disney Plus doesn't have all the Fox stuff. Maybe Superman Returns is the reason people don't like Superman. I mean, that definitely contributed to it, but it's... I'm saying the main symptom I found from when I was growing up was the DC animated stuff. That Bruce Timm universe is what made a lot of people not like Superman, think he is lame. A lot of people, and then some people like that animated Superman. But the most people I found that were like kids that were my age when I was growing up, because like that, I grew up like during that time, during like the big DC animated stuff. Superman was lame. Superman was the guy that always got his ass kicked. Superman was the guy that couldn't figure things out. Superman was the guy that always needed saving. What happened in the DC animated universe? Character who was sold in Nightwing in issue 93. Did she ever face any repercussions of that? That's a bit of a dark, but I just wanted for clarification. I'm talking about pre-52. Pre-52 Nightwing. Let me look it up and see. I don't... Dude, it's been so long since I've read pre-52 Nightwing. I don't remember, dude. It's been so long since I've read that. How's the Devin Grace and stuff? They're on Disney Plus for non-US residents. Well, VPN time. Guilty pleasure comic. All-Star Batman and Robin. That book is horrible, but it's fun to read because it's so bad. I love All-Star Batman and Robin. That is like the definition for me of my guilty pleasure comic. All-Star Batman and Robin is so bad, but so good. The dialogue for Batman is so weird. Calling Robin like gay and retarded and getting mad when Robin calls the Batmobile gay and like forcing Robin to eat rats. It's so bad. And then him painting himself the entire room yellow when he meets Hal. But it's so bad it's good. It's like a B movie. That's my guilty pleasure comic. What made you like Superman as a comic? I read the Superman comics. I went to my library and they had bins of like single issues that people had donated, and I read the Superman stuff and I was like, this guy's the coolest. I thought Superman was cool because I got to see the type of character he was, and also the powers are cool. A lot of Superman fans are afraid to admit that powers are cool and he looks cool because it's so surface level. But like, of course, the character is what you like the most, but the powers are cool. He can fly around. He has super strength. He has heat vision. He has cool fights. He has awesome villains. Like, I hate that, like, we're in such a, like, you have to be 200 IQ and, like, write video essays about everything and, like, delve deep and say, this is why you love... But the powers are cool, and when you're a little kid, there's a guy who can fly around, has heat vision and super strength, that's sick. And then there's also the character of Superman himself and the fact that he does the right things and the decisions he made when he could have taken over the world, but he was raised by good people. Like, that stuff's cool. So yeah, that's why I initially liked Superman. He hugged. Yeah, the whole She-Hulk thing, making her Hulk, was really weird. I don't understand. I think that was a Jason Aaron move too, wasn't it? I've still, to this day, have not watched all of Superman Returns because it's so bad. Their old Super Republic stuff's gonna be horrible. You know it. My day's going good. How about you, Jacob? I've read a bunch of comics today. When he returns from Warworld, he wants to make Metropolis more iconic. I'm sure Philip Kennedy Johnson will, because he's so good at world building. I'm excited to see what he does with Metropolis. She wanted to make Bruce and Dick a thing? What? Did not know that. MCU has mediocre, underwhelming TV shows, and DC has the CW. Sad but true. But Peacemaker, although they've ruined Vigilante, and it has some horrible... The humor's all over the place, but I enjoy Peacemaker. Peacemaker's good. I enjoy it. Other than them ruining Vigilante and the humor being like sometimes funny, sometimes just misses the mark completely, the overall story they're telling is interesting, and I like John Cena as Peacemaker. I think he does a great job. Thoughts on Pattinson's Bat Voice? Sounds good. Did you do the comic reviews already? Yes, we went through all the comics I bought today, and I talked about all of them. I did that in like the first 20 or 30 minutes of the stream, and now we're almost 2 hours in. So you can, I'll leave the stream up. You can watch them later. What's your thoughts on Superman Lois show? I've seen like the first like 14 or 15 episodes of the first season, and I enjoyed it. It's good. I have not finished season 1 though, and I have not watched season 2. Still some CW stuff. I was so happy that they brought Steel into it. Dude, that reveal of Steel, I guessed it before it happened. I was like, yes! That got me hyped. Steel deserves more love. He had a horrible movie with Shaq in the 90s, and yeah, Steel deserves more love. He's a really cool character.
Pizza time.
And the guy that plays him is great in the CW. Got a $5 super chat from Mr. DC Comics. Thank you very much, man. The X-Men are king of the 80s and 90s. That's why Superman wasn't as popular anymore. The 90s was all about the anti-heroes. People definitely wanted darker characters, but that's also where like comics were leaning after we got, you know, like Watchmen, Dark Knight Returns, stuff like that. So the general public definitely wanted darker characters, that's for sure. I don't know if necessarily anti-heroes, because the X-Men weren't really anti-heroes other than like Wolverine, you could kind of say, but yeah, definitely people wanted darker characters, that's for sure, and that definitely led to Batman taking over Superman. Warzone going to be adding redeploy? What do you mean? Warzone already has redeploy. What do you mean? You can buy back people and all that. Worst Batman comic I've ever read? I don't know, dude. There's a lot. Off the top of my head, I'm sorry. I'm not sure. Off my head is Bing Chili. John Cena does a great job in Peacemaker. Do you need to watch New Suicide Squad to watch Peacemaker? No. But I would suggest watching the new Suicide Squad. The new Suicide Squad movie's great. I really liked it. Other than them, like, not making Bloodsport, if you see Bloodsport as a completely different character, it's really good. But if you're expecting Bloodsport, then no. And there's some really cool action in it. Yeah, Titan's bad. If Shaq played stealing on the CW, no. Favorite X-Men run? Of course, it's Claremont. I have not read Ultimate Spider-Man. No, I've read some back issues, but I've not read like a good chunk of the run. No, so you like Peacemaker in the comics? I haven't really read like anything of Peacemaker in the comics. So redeploy like Apex apparently, like where you can pick up their card, so you don't buy them back anymore. But that's weird. They already have a redeploy thing where you can buy people back, but now they're doing it. Or that's weird. I don't understand that. But yeah, like I haven't really read any Peacemaker. Like I've read a bunch of Vigilante. I've read a bunch of Bloodsport. I've read like all of Bloodsport actually. Like every time he showed up in Superman, I've like all his and his successor, the white supremacist guy. Because there's two different Bloodsports. There's one Bloodsport which was a draft dodger for Nam that like went insane and ended up being a mass shooter and killing people. And then there was a successor which so because the first Bloodsport was black, and then there's a successor that was this white supremacist guy that went and killed like every non-white person he saw. And then the two of them fought and had a boxing fight. And then they both died. Like, one was shot by prison security. Can actually talk about that for a second. So, during Superman, the two different Bloodsports, you had the original crazy psychopath Bloodsport, and then you had, like, the Nazi Bloodsport. And they both like, we can't have two Bloodsports. They're both in prison. And they're like, to solve this, we're going to have a boxing match, and Superman's going to referee it. So they have a boxing match. It's been a little bit since I've read this issue, so I don't remember everything that happens. But they have a boxing match in prison. It's really stupid. And the white supremacist guy, Bloodsport's getting the upper hand on the black Bloodsport, but it's boxing, not MMA, so you can't ground and pound. So he's like beating his ass. Like in boxing, if you get rocked, like they separate you, they do like a standing count, or if you get dropped, you know, they do a count. So Superman does that, and then they like fight. Something goes haywire. I can't remember if the Nazi Bloodsport like got his teleporter in there or something, because the Bloodsport's thing is like they could teleport weapons to them, and so they have all these different types of weapons. That was their big thing. I can't remember if he had his teleport. Something goes haywire. They fight and stuff. And then like the black Bloodsport ends up beating the crap out of the Nazi Bloodsport, and so he tries to escape. Then after that, he ends up getting shot by prison security because they're in the prison. The dude just shoots black Bloodsport. He's dead. White Bloodsport, his like other Nazi dudes are like, you got beat by a black guy. You're no good to us now. And they execute him in prison. So that's what happened to those Bloodsports. Very dark. Very dark for a Superman book. You have a Nazi Bloodsport, and then you have a mass shooter Bloodsport, and then they both die, one getting shot by prison security and the other getting executed by other Nazis. Superman's had some dark stuff. Anyway, sorry, I'm going off on that. I missed stuff in the chat. Viola Davis is so good as Waller. She's the best. She was one of the best parts of the original Suicide Squad. That movie sucked, but she was great in it. Are you gonna watch the new Batman movie? Of course, dude. I can't wait for that movie. Wonder how the Batman will use its phone effort. I wish Disney would continue Spectacular Spider-Man, but that ain't gonna happen. Issue number? Oh man. Issue number for that Superman story I just talked about. Here, I should be able to find it. I think it was like an Adventures of Superman, I think, when that happened. Dude. Oh, I have it too. I have it in my back issues. A long box somewhere. See if I can. Got my photo strikers on. Adventures of Superman 526. This is it. Hold up. That's not it. Let me see. Yes, Adventures of Superman 526. That's the issue where they fight and where the two Bloodsports fight in a boxing match and they both die. They both get shot in prison. Yes, I'd say Dark Knights of Steel is worth picking up. I've enjoyed the first 4 issues. I'm really worried about what they're going to do to Superman, but I have enjoyed it. That movie's 4 hours. Yeah, it's just under 3 hours, which I'm interested to see how that plays out. I'm excited. In your opinion, who's the best Spider-Man? Josh Keaton? Dude, yeah, all the animated shows once Disney took over are horrible, but Spectacular Spider-Man is the best. I love Spectacular Spider-Man. Spectacular Spider-Man is, like, that's my favorite iteration of Spider-Man, period. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. No, I got him on my hoodie currently. I'm not the biggest Spider-Man fan. Like, I've read Mark Millar's run. I've read, like, the first couple volumes of J. Michael Krasinski's run. And then I've read some of the Stan Lee Ditko stuff. But I haven't read, like, a ton of Spider-Man. And I've never been, like, super into the character. But Spectacular Spider-Man was so good. Dude, I just can't read novels because I can't remember. Like, I go from one page to the next. I completely forgot of what I just read. My brain just don't work well for, like, unless I have a visual aid. Like, just imagining in my head does not work. Yeah, Dark Knight of Steel is good for the most part. There's some stupid stuff, like the whole Lex being a combination of Lex and Joker is really stupid, but... Going Logan. Scuba diving class, nice. Yeah, Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes was really good. They got rid of that. Avengers vs. Mightiest Heroes did Secret Wars not Secret Wars, Secret Invasion justice. We talking about everything right now, dude. Spectacular Spider-Man did so good. It did so good of handling his inner relationships too, like with Gwen and with like his friends and what he had with Liz, like oh dude. So good. That's the thing. Kraven's Last Hunt is a great book, but it's not a Spider-Man book, really. Like, it's my favorite Spider-Man book, but it's kind of like not really a Spider-Man book. Kind of like how Killing Joke isn't really a Batman book, you know? I don't know if Lobo's Crusher is any good. I've not read it. So. Dubbed. Amelia Clark's in Secret Invasion. Who's she playing in Secret Invasion? Yes, scroll. That's so weird that Secret Invasion is going to be on Disney Plus. Maybe reading the Arrowverse comic crossover that's bringing Stargirl. Nope. Do you like Earth's Mightiest Heroes or MCU? I like both. If we're talking about the animated show that was technically connected to the MCU, that was horrible. I watched a couple episodes of that. That was bad. But I like Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But I also like what MCU did with Infinity War was really good. I liked Infinity War Endgame. Did you read the Swedish Brother's Son special? It seemed like Tomasi didn't care at all and was just doing it for the paycheck, which I don't blame him for. I talked about it earlier. I love the Super Son special. Like we talked about earlier in stream. I thought it was great. He took some shots also at like Bendis and Tom Taylor. Yeah, this right here. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a fun adventure between the two. talking about how how Superboy's current suit sucks and his earlier suit was much better, and also Lois and John talking about how they're mad that they lost all that time together and weren't, and he just got aged up. And then I just like the little adventure that John and Damian had, and their chemistry's great. I didn't feel like Tomasi sold out at all. I thought it was a great issue. Next DC movie after Batman? I don't know, dude. Don't we have Aquaman at like the end of this year? Oh, Flashpoint is the next one. Ugh. Flashpoint's gonna be horrible. I don't think they said anything else about Joker 2. So remember they were like, we're never doing a sequel to this, and the movie made $1 billion, and they're like, we're doing a sequel to the Joker, and then haven't heard anything since. If that movie doesn't get a sequel, fine by me. It doesn't need one. Like, I like the Joker, but I didn't love it. Like, I've seen that type of movie before, and it didn't really add anything to Joker being in it didn't add anything. Thoughts on Marvel What If cartoon? Have not seen a single episode, so no thoughts. Favorite current Marvel or DC run? Action Comics. Action Comics is great. But the favorite current run? Super Sons Omnicom. Yeah. Super Sons gets to Flash Ezra Miller. Yeah. That'd be hilarious if he does chokeslam someone. That'd be funny. They won't do that. Yeah, Anonymous, it's sad. John was a great character, and now he's not. But Tomasi still gets him. It felt like I said at the beginning of the stream, it felt like an old friend was back that you hadn't seen in years. When reading Tomasi's John dialogue, it's like he's back instead of Tom Taylor's. Also, there's a bit of a jab at Tom Taylor because in this it opens with John watching cartoons. Even though he's 18, he's watching cartoons, and then Lois is like, "Don't you want to watch the news instead and stay up to date with current events?" And it's like, that is exactly what Tom Taylor's John does. Tom Taylor's John is all about current events and like helping, like all on current events, like politics and everything. So it was like, man, that's the difference. Tomasi's is just a kid trying to have fun, and Tom Taylor's is like some. Are you a fan of buying omnibuses? Omnibuses can be good, but they can be a pain in the ass to read, like holding it and reading them. I just reread, like a couple weeks ago, Kill or Be Killed, which I talked about on the channel years ago. Because I got the omnibus for that, and it was so good. And I read it while having the Wrath of Man soundtrack playing the whole time. Such a good reading experience. If you read Kill or Be Killed, just put on the Wrath of Man soundtrack. Fits it perfectly. Yeah, I'd say do the trades for Super Sun or get the omnibus. Tomasi knows how to write Damian. Grant Morrison, Peter Tomasi, Joshua Williamson all know how to write Damian. No one else does. Joker 2 started filming towards the end of the year. Got announced a few weeks ago. Okay. Wait, Lady Gaga's playing Joker 2? What? I mean, playing Harley in Joker 2? I wish Tomasi was on anything. He's not on like any DC book or. You ever read Why the Last Man? I got the omnibus, but I have not started it yet. It's funny because I got that omnibus way before I got the omnibus for Kill or Be Killed, but I really wanted to reread Kill or Be Killed. But yeah, I've not read The Last Man yet. Got the omnibus though. Right over there, actually. I hope the Obi-Wan comic's good. I have no clue who that writer is, and like someone pointed out on my Discord, if you Google him, some Nazi comes up. Different guy, but Yeah, I haven't read anything from that writer. I think he's currently like writing Iron Man. I have no clue if that's any good. Joker 2 is a very unnecessary sequel, but the first one made $1 billion. If a movie makes $1 billion, of course the studio is going to be like, yeah, make a second one. It is funny though, because Joaquin Phoenix and the director both, like, when the movie's coming out, it's like, this isn't a franchise, we're not making a sequel, we're doing one, we're sticking to the art. And then it made $1 billion, and they were both like, sequel sounds good to me. It's like, okay, Joaquin, tell more people to stop drinking milk, idiot. Pretend to be all righteous, but then once your movie makes $1 billion, sequel time. Yeah, they had the omnibus for Tomasi's Batman and Robin. I had the first volume of that. It's really good. When he does indeed talk. Yeah, I play Arkham Knight. What they did to Nightwing in that side mission was so stupid. Purge about 6% of the population of Tatooine. Oh no, they got the wrong guy. Saw an interview with Jeff Johns. He said he'd been working on Thomas. Did not see that interview. What Star Wars comics do you read? Bounty Hunters and Darth Vader. Bounty Hunters is really good. Sticking to the one. All that ever happens to stand. Wait, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about just the one, the Joker. Yeah. Thinking of just the one, not doing a sequel. Yeah. Especially when it makes $1 billion. Have you ever watched Japanese Spider-Man? I've seen like the memes of Japanese Spider-Man, yes. Because Marvel has a... Oh, you're talking about Miss Marvel and then Captain Marvel. Is that what you mean when there's a series and a movie? See how that turns out. Getting closer and closer to the Batman live action series. That's what I'm scared of, is when they do a live action for my boy Valance. When they do a live action on him, I'm like, oh, they could ruin him. Please don't, because I feel like they will bring him in eventually. He's such a good character. He's so cool. He's the best original Star Wars character that Lucas didn't create. That Lucas didn't have any hand in at all. Like, post Lucas selling Disney, he's the best original character. Oh yeah, I don't know if any of you guys are reading the current Mark Millar series, the Spy series. I read the first issue. Really freaking good. I need to read, I think the second issue's out already. Do you value movie scores? If so, which one's your favorite? Yeah, dude, I love listening to movie scores, especially when reading comics. It's one of my favorite things to do, listening to movie scores. I love the Man of Steel score, actually, from Hans Zimmer. That's so good. I love putting that on whenever I read Superman comics. I love, actually, the Dark Knight Rises score I was listening to prior to this when I was reading some of these Batman comics. I put on the Dark Knight Rises score. Basically, anything Hans Zimmer. I like Christopher Drake. I like, obviously, John Williams. I like, oh man, what's this guy's name? Hold up, I can tell you. Let's see. I like Daniel Pemberton. He's really good. Who else? I feel like there's another composer I'm missing. Yeah, Williamson's Batman's been really good. There's only been like one issue since my video came out, and the newest issue was good and really interesting. I don't like that one of the big things is they give like Lex creates his own bat suit. That part's stupid, but other than that, the issue is good because we already had like Lex created his own Superman suit before in like Rebirth, and now we're having this, and it's like, just stop doing that with Lex. Do you have any Three Jokers playing cards still? I don't know, honestly. Josh Brolin as Valance? I wouldn't complain for him as Valance. I feel like he needs someone a bit younger, but I wouldn't mind him. How's it going, Venomzilla? Why do you think it's so hard for comic characters to come up with new characters? For comic writers to come up with new characters? I mean, for some, it's not hard at all. Joshua Williamson came up with like 20 in a span of like 2 issues on Batman. So for some, it's not hard at all. Crisis 2 and Crisis 3 soundtracks? I haven't listened to those in forever, but I've played all the Crisis games, so yeah. I remember those soundtracks were good. A couple years ago was Hans Zimmer. That was like my... that was like my top artist last year. I listened to a lot of Hans Zimmer. They definitely haven't known what to do with Lex, because you had Snyder doing his whole thing where he combined Lex Luthor with Martian Manhunter, and he served Perpetua, which is completely against everything that Lex Luthor is for, considering Lex Luthor is very much humans and not a big fan of aliens, and then he teams up with the biggest alien of all time. And you had Rebirth, where in the beginning they had him like working with Superman being like kind of a good guy, because at the end of the New 52 he was a good guy, which was stupid. But then they had some good stuff with him during Rebirth, where they actually like had Lex Luthor back, like Imperious Lex. That was good. And now they're kind of in this weird state with Lex. Yeah, Arkham Origins score is really good. Yeah, they definitely don't really know what they're doing with him. It's sad. Yeah, Josh and Little Reason. Oh. But man, I'm so sad that Doomsday Clock, Absolute Doomsday Clock got delayed, just like Doomsday Clock always get delayed. Because dude, I can't wait to read that in the big giant Absolute format. Ugh. And I've been looking for an excuse to read Doomsday Clock. Hi, Jimmy. Hey, bud. But yeah, I think that might be just about it for the stream. The stream for a little over 2 hours was fun. I haven't done a YouTube stream in a while. This is fun though, getting to talk about comics. I've just been doing Book of Boba Fett videos lately. Yeah, Origins was good, but had a lot of dumb stuff. What they did with Slade was blasphemy. But anyways, I'm working on this Superman post-Bendis video. I've actually got some of that script written out. I'll hopefully have that within the next 2 weeks, maybe. But that's the main thing that I'm working on right now, and then just random stuff in between. Like the Book of Boba Fett stuff, because I've been having fun talking about Boba Fett. But yeah, that's basically it for right now. Appreciate everyone showing up the stream. This was a fun stream. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. I'm going to go now because I'm hungry and I've been streaming for about 2 hours. So, thanks to everyone who showed up, and I will see you guys later. Hope everyone has a good weekend and a good Saturday night. And I will see you guys in the next one. Farewell, everyone.